Hi there. I wanted to clarify some of the next steps in the Petito and Laundrie lawsuit. I've gotten a couple questions, so keep watching. We'll go over a few things regarding the judge's order. Hi there, I'm Michele Hagan. I'm a legal analyst and a former prosecutor. You may recognize me because I provided a lot of legal analysis on the Elizabeth Holmes case. And I created this channel to give you more analysis and also to find out what your take is. What you think is going on. So this video is for educational and informational purposes only. I'm not a Florida lawyer. I'm a California lawyer, and we're just going to be reading a few things, reading over the judge's order and clarifying a few things for you. Okay, so please do subscribe, and thank you to all of those of you who have subscribed. I really appreciate it. Please do leave a comment, your questions, and I look forward to reading them and responding to them. So do subscribe and do hit that like button. Okay, so I'm going to share with you the court order that was just issued on the 15th. Okay, so when we looked at it, go ahead and take a look at my prior video I did on the next steps in the next steps in the Petito versus Laundrie lawsuit. It's Friday. So, and this video is just to kind of clarify some things I went over. Okay, so keep watching, and I'm going to share with you the judge's order. We're going to go over a few things just based on some questions I've received. Okay, so here's the judge's order. Now it's called a case management order. That means the judge has issued an order requiring the parties to do something. And this is the Joseph Petito and Nichole Schmidt are the plaintiffs. These are Gabby's parents, right? Versus Christopher Laundrie and Roberta Laundrie, which are Brian's parents. And yes, there are step parents. So we're not just, it's just these four parents that are involved, but there also is a stepfather and a stepmother, I believe. So anyway, this order that was issued by the judge is letting the parties know what they need to do before the next court date, which is the first court date in this case. The next court date is the June 30th date down here. June 30th at 1:30, okay? That's when the parties, both parties, the defendants and the plaintiffs, are to appear in front of the court, in front of the judge at South County Justice Center on June 30th at 1:30, okay? So, and prior to June 30th, the parties have to complete a case management report. That's where I talked about in the prior video where I talked about the next steps in the Petito versus Laundrie case. The case management report is basically letting the judge know that the parties have come together, or their attorneys now have come together and figured out how long they think the case is going to be, whether there's going to be expert witnesses, how long the trial is going to be, etc. Okay, and I'll briefly go over that. And again, I went over it in the next steps video, so please do take a look at that. Okay, I wanted to point out a few things here. So again, if the parties don't show up, failure to attend the initial case management conference, it says that it's mandatory unless you're excused by the court. At this point, it's mandatory that the parties show up on June 30th. Failure to attend could result in the court dismissing the action, dismissing the lawsuit. Okay, and how are the parties to appear? Well, the parties may choose to appear in person at the courthouse or by Zoom. So that means it's a mandatory appearance. So the parties get to choose whether they appear in person or on Zoom, but they still need to appear. Okay, I wanted to clarify that. All right, the rest you can go ahead and read this. Let's see. The case management order will tell the parties whether they are excused from attending, and it sets out various deadlines that will govern the progression of the case. So at this point, there hasn't been any request that the parties be excused from appearing on June 30th. So at this point, it's mandatory appearance, right? Whether they appear at the courthouse or on Zoom. Okay, so I wanted to point out to you here under Section 2, it says the parties or their attorneys shall meet and confer within 30 days after the last party is served with the initial process and jointly complete the case management report. So that could mean that all the parties, the plaintiffs and the defendants and their attorneys get together. They fill out the case management report, which I went over in the previous video. Or it could just be the attorneys filling that out. I can tell you in California, because I'm a California lawyer, this is kind of an administrative function in the sense that we fill out the case management conference, the information, wherever we're appearing, whatever the rules are for that particular court. We fill out, similar to this, a case management report, and we, with the consulting of our clients, and we submit that to the court so the court has a heads up on how many witnesses, how long we think the case is going to take, proposed trial dates, all of that. Similar to what's in this case management report that the Petitos and the Laundries, the Petito Schmidts and the Laundries will be filling out, or their attorney in consult with their attorneys, okay? So again, it can be the parties, the plaintiffs and the defendants. So Brian's parents and Gabby's parents could get together with their attorneys and fill this out, the case management report, or the attorneys can do it, okay? So let's see. And under paragraph 3, if there's no agreement, so if there's no agreement between Brian's parents and Gabby's parents as to any of the items in the case management report, then each party has to, you're still going to be, they're going to file it separately. They'll file their case management report separately. The court would like them to file it jointly, but if there's any disagreement, the court needs to know that, right? So that's what paragraph 3 talks about. Let's see, what else did I want to show you here? Let's see. Let's go ahead and look at the case management report. And here it is. Okay, so I did go over this briefly in the prior video, so you might want to take a look at that. But, did all the parties meet and confer as required? So again, meet and confer means the attorneys and their clients, which would mean Brian's parents and Gabby's parents with their attorneys, get together and meet and respond to this case management report. They complete it, or it's just the attorneys who do. Okay, that's how I read it. If there's a Florida attorney out there who reads it differently, let me know. Okay, so again, this is educational and it's my opinion here. So let's see. And there's also a possibility that this case could be set outside the 18-month period, right? And that's right here where it says an extended trial date. So in other words, the parties could ask for it to be set past the 18-month deadline in which most of the time these lawsuits go to trial. And again, Gabby's parents have asked for a jury trial, not a court trial. That would be a trial by judge. They're asking for a trial by jury for this civil lawsuit. Okay, so they could ask, either one of the parties could ask for an extended trial date outside the 18-month window. That's what that indicates, okay? Let's see if there's anything else. I just wanted to do just a quick update here. And then again, they want, the court wants to know, do all parties agree to the case management report? If no, you must attend the initial conference, the initial case management conference, unless excused by the court. Well, the court has already ordered, in this order that we're looking at, that the parties do appear, either in person or by Zoom. Okay? Let's see. I don't know if there's going to be any counterclaim or cross-claim by the Laundries against the Petitos, or if anyone else will be added as a party or to this case. I don't know yet. We don't know. So I'm scrolling through this so you can go ahead and take a look at it. there's anything else in here regarding expert witnesses, their reports, having the parties, and this is down the line now, the parties will put together a final witness and exhibit list. Discovery relates to, written questions that they ask the other party to answer. Could be a deposition is also something. They could also be subpoenaing additional documents, any letters, there may be texts between the cell phones involved, phone calls, all of that could be part of the discovery. A Daubert motion relates to whether or not the expert witness can give testimony on whatever the subject matter they're talking about. And that, this is a case involving emotional distress, right? So we can expect to see a doctor, a therapist, somebody who's been treating either one of the Gabby's parents, possibly, to explain the emotional distress. And they would be, this doctor or therapist would be considered an expert witness. And assuming their testimony comes in, that's up to the judge to make that call, the trial judge. The other question, and I think this is probably it, but the other question is the mediation deadline. Whether or not mediation will apply in this case, we'll have to find out, but I'm sure it's a strong likelihood that mediation is going to be one of the pre-trial steps. Like for instance, in California, the parties are required to go to mediation to see if they can work out some kind of settlement before the case goes to trial. So I don't know if that happens in Florida. It probably does, because I'm sure the court wants, the parties to make their best efforts to try to settle these cases, because trials can be very expensive for all parties involved. Let's see, is there anything? I think that's it, but I'll just scroll through it so you can take a look at it. Okay, that's it. All right, so I hope that's been helpful to you. And again, out of respect to all the parties, to all the families involved, sending prayers, because I know this is a terrible, I'm sure this is a terrible tragedy to lose your children. So sending prayers to the families involved, and I hope that they are able to resolve this case. So thank you very much for watching. Please do leave a comment or question, and please do subscribe and hit that like button. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll keep you updated as we go along. Thank you.